Well, after 35 days of shutdown, the president made a surprise announcement today, a deal to end the stalemate and refund the government for about 3 weeks in any case. For more details on that agreement, we are joined tonight by Trace Gallagher. Hey, Trace.
Hi, Tucker. For now, things are moving smoothly on Capitol Hill. Late today, the Senate used a voice vote to pass a bill to reopen the government. The House then agreed to the same measure, and it's now waiting for the president's signature on his desk. The continuing resolution, as you noted, will ensure federal workers get their back pay and keep the government open until February 15th. The president says a bipartisan congressional conference committee will now work to come up with a border security package, but Democrats are already claiming victory. Watch this.
Separate the funding of government from the discussion on border security, and that's what we got.
The Senate Minority Leader went on to reiterate that Democrats are against the wall, but President Trump says if there is no fair deal in the next 3 weeks, he has two options. Watch.
The government will either shut down on February 15th again, or I will use the powers afforded to me under the laws and the Constitution of the United States to address this emergency.
In other words, he declares the border a national emergency and funds the wall with or without congressional consent. 2 weeks ago, GOP Senator Lindsey Graham proposed exactly what happened today: open the government, then debate the wall funding. And now Graham says if the Democrats don't deal in good faith, they will end up hurting any chance of striking a bargain to extend DACA. That's the program that allows children brought to the U.S. illegally by their parents to stay here without fear of being deported. Tucker.
Quite a moment. Trace Gallagher, thank you very much. Well, in moments like this, we like to bring in one of the smartest people formerly of Washington. Dana Perino hosts the Daily Briefing with Dana Perino, and she joins us tonight. So, Dana, as you know, great to see you. Trace just explained it. The president alluded to it on background. The White House is just saying it. In 3 weeks, if they don't have adequate funding from the Democratic House to build this wall, they're going to build it anyway.
And in fact, just to reiterate that, Sarah Sanders, the press secretary, just tweeted this like moments ago while you were talking to Trace Gallagher. And I suppose that's because they're watching some of the coverage tonight. They're watching the reaction from their supporters and seeing that the supporters seem uncertain of what actually the president's going to do here. She's making it clear that something is going to happen. I, for one, think that the president did the right thing today. I think it was a statesman-like move to say, all right, we're 35 days into this. He was losing ground with the public, not just with the Democrats, but with the public. You had a situation where the airports were then going to be a mess because you can't have enough air traffic controllers get there because they're claiming financial harm. Then you had people lining up at food banks. You had your own FBI director saying, I'm mad. We cannot do this. So the president, I think, was right to diffuse the situation. And then he went into his talking points and he said, look, here's all the things. He paints the picture of why he feels so strongly about border security. The problem, I think, Tucker, is that they've been using this same language all of this time. The primetime address, out on the road, wherever he has been, every day in Twitter. It's not moving public opinion except away from him during the shutdown. So now maybe perhaps during this 3 weeks, he'll be able to do that. If not, I think at the end that he will declare the national emergency.
Well, I mean, you know what erodes your popularity with the public is weakness, period. I mean, people's views change based on what they think is succeeding. I mean, this is right. So if the president said in 3 weeks, and he's telegraphing he's going to say this, it's just too important. The Democrats are not capable of arguing this in good faith, of negotiating. I'm just building it. Do you think support for it being the wall, would rise?
No. I don't. I think that he's going to have to accept that the Democrats are going to come forward with, I think they're going to come forward now that they're going to have to counter, right? They're going to say, all right, Mr. President, here's $5 billion, and we'll include some barrier money, okay? But he's not going to call it a wall. I think that at this point we're talking about semantics. That we've already established that the Democrats have already voted for the very things that the president has put on the table. So he is in a position now of being able to say, all right, on the shutdown, I'll give you that. But I'm going to protect this country. I'm the commander-in-chief. It's my solemn obligation to protect the country. I've laid it out for you.
But will we ever get to the actual debate, which is about what would secure the border? I haven't heard a single conversation about that in the last month. Like, what would actually work? Well, I mean, it's all.
And then the president has told you that a barrier would work and that there would be other, the drones.
I'm aware of that, but I mean, from the people who oppose him, there's no. So what would work better? I mean, will we get to that point where we debate it?
Well, I think that they'll just say that, like, no. Yes, I think that they're going to give him a little bit. They'll say, look, we'll do all of these other technological things that you say you wanted. We'll say that there's a barrier. We're going to give you money to do that. And look, I think that the thing is, Tucker, the president is not now in divided government. He's not going to get everything that he wanted. Right. And I feel like he was kind of pushed into this fight that he was not going to be able to win. And you look back, maybe he should have taken the $25 billion from a year ago and the DACA that now is on the table in TPS. He's in a position now of divided government. He has to do the best he can do. He'll go into the re-election effort being able to say, I did all I could. But let me also say this, Tucker. I feel like he's been in the White House too many days in a row. You know what it's like to be in Washington that long. It'll drive you crazy. For his own sanity, true. I really feel like from a communications aspect as well, get out of D.C., go see America. Go visit people. Go talk to them.
Smart.
Go hear from them.
Smart advice.
Get out of there so that you can change the dynamic. He doesn't have to be in Washington all the time.
I totally agree. Go golfing. Go to Maine. Snowshoe. No, you're absolutely right. No, it's totally right.
Or go and do work. Go hold town halls. Go visit people. Get out of Washington.
I'm familiar with that desire.
I know. I can feel it.
Dana Perino. It's great to see you.
Bye.
As always.